Greetings, everyone. I'm Addison Pollock, Director of Community Engagement with AARP Indiana, and I have the pleasure of being joined by a couple of our awesome volunteers from the Indianapolis team. Audrey, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Audrey Turner, and I'm a co-lead for the Indianapolis AARP uh, Indianapolis team. I'm also on the executive council, on the legislative team, and also on the FAB team. And it's just purely an honor to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining. And Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. I am Stephanie Reese, a part of the Executive Council, and also a co-lead with Audrey as a co-lead for the Executive Council.
Wonderful. Yeah, thanks for being here. Welcome everyone to This Is In. This is our AARP Indiana's web show that just talks about what we're doing locally in communities across the state. Obviously, Audrey and Stephanie are located here in Indianapolis, and we fulfill our mission at the local level to help to empower Hoosiers 50 plus and their families to live as they choose how they live as they age. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we have in store for 2025, our priorities, what we're planning to work on, and how we're planning to promote those issue priorities and share valuable information, resources with our members, but also all Hoosiers 50 plus. So, but before we get into that, I know the audience out there doesn't really know us yet. You know, I've been at AARP Indiana for going on 8 years now, and really view AARP as a vehicle for doing good in the community and across the state. And I was curious. We'll start with you, Stephanie, and just tell us why you volunteer with AARP Indiana.
Yes, I have been a volunteer with AARP for 7 years now. And one of the reasons that I decided to join was other family members in the past have been members. And just to know the advocacy work that AARP represents for the 50 plus community, in addition to helping those 30 and 40-year-olds to know what's coming next. So just to know that if there's an issue that the community may have, we listen, we take that in, and then we advocate on those issues. And just to know that there's an organization that cares enough for the community to take that time, even as a volunteer, to say, this is what the community has shared. Now let's act upon it. And I'm happy to say with that, we've had much success. So I just enjoy being on this team and will continue as long as I can.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the team, and thanks for your leadership. We take listening very seriously, listening to the community, making sure that what we're doing, our activities, how we're trying to promote our mission, making sure that it reflects the needs of the community. So thanks for mentioning that. Audrey, you've been a longtime volunteer. Why do you continue to volunteer with AARP?
I have been with AARP Indiana since 2005. The reason I joined it is their fraud prevention program. My uncle had lost his home due to fraud, and that's one of the reasons I was able to give presentations. And then I left for a few years. I have been with AARP Indiana for a total of 17 years as a volunteer. I love we get out and do our caregiving, the needs of the community. That's what I love, to be involved. And the information that we provide, the care and support for caregivers, and just being there for our fellow man that's what it's for me. And I love it. And I will continue as long as I can.
Incredible. Yeah, you all, that's amazing. I couldn't have said it better myself. So you all said that way better than I could have. So I appreciate you sharing, just the impetus to why you volunteer with us and continue to dedicate your efforts to what we do. Audrey, you brought up a couple of the issues that we focus on, and I think that's a great segue to our 2025 priorities. So at the end of the year, every year, we kind of examine what internally we examine what our priorities are and where we want to kind of focus our efforts for the following year. This year, not a lot of things have changed for us. For those who don't know, we're going to continue to focus on caregiving. Educating caregivers, their families, and any other relevant folks about tools, resources that are available for caregivers to help make their job a little easier, provide them with respite opportunities to connect with other caregivers, but also take a breather. We know that it's really difficult to find that time to just focus and take a breather and care for ourselves. So that's one area that we're really focused in and dialed in on this year. Another is fraud prevention. We are planning to really focus on how we're educating folks to spot frauds and scams before they actually occur, because educating oneself is the best deterrent for when you fall victim to a scam. Really, it's really difficult to get any money back if you've been deceived. So that's why prevention is maybe the best medicine for frauds and scams. And then lastly, but not least, our livable communities work, making sure that we have housing options that reflect the needs of our population, the Hoosiers 50 plus, so that our homes can be lifelong homes. And then also transportation infrastructure in our communities to make sure you can go on a walk, drive, or even ride transit safely to where you need to go, and have all of those options be available and reliable. So I know I'm going to start with caregiving really quickly. Audrey, you have participated in what we call our Caregiver Connection series. It's the Tai Chi series that we offer virtually online. I just was curious if you could tell us more about your experience with those. And before you dive in, I want to give the audience an idea of what those look like. We kick off these forums with caregivers, folks who are sympathetic to the caregiving issue, or maybe just need a break in their day. And what they do is join us online. We provide a little bit of information up front, and then we end with a really awesome Tai Chi presentation by a gentleman named Sifu Ron, who's located down in Evansville. But Audrey, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your experience on that virtual event?
Yes, on January 13th, I gave a talk on caregiving connection. I gave about a 10-minute presentation. It's a bill that's, well, I'm not going to call it a bill, but it's something you can get more detail about it. But I gave a 10-minute presentation to let them, the audience, know exactly what the bill is about. And it was very informative. And I think we had over 300 people had signed up for that event, but we had at least 100 people that did view it. And it was very positive, and it was an honor just to do that. And this is something that we're proud to do for AARP. It's really a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. Stephanie, did you want to comment on caregiving at all and our work that we're doing there?
I just want to share just the importance of families and people knowing about caregiving. I am a caregiver myself, and just knowing the resources that AARP has shared, the ability to be able to know self-care, what does that look like as caregivers, and then options as you are giving care. So again, just looking at caregiving in the new light, knowing that there's resources there for you as the caregiver and as someone that you have to step away and say self-care as you are caregiving.
Absolutely. And in addition to that Tai Chi, the Caregiver Connection Tai Chi virtual events, we're also sponsoring a caregiver event series with the Indianapolis Public Library. They're putting on an event series called Caregiver Supports. And these are held bi-weekly, events held bi-weekly at the Beech Grove Public Library branch. You can go down there and check them out. You can also go on our website to learn more at aarp.org/in. And every quarter, they're going to host an even larger event, around a 2-hour event that's going to have some educational information available as well. So we really try to stress the respite when it comes to caregiving, as Stephanie and Audrey have alluded to. It's really important to catch that break and reset what you need to do. So we're always looking for opportunities to support family caregivers. I do. Speaking of the Indianapolis Public Library, we are going to be diving into some in-person fraud prevention events as well. We just hosted one late January called Outsmarting Scammers, and the Indianapolis Public Library are hosting a variety of guests throughout the year who can talk about the information that you need as a consumer to protect yourselves against financial fraud. At this one, we had the Indiana Attorney General's office come by and give a great presentation. Again, you can go to our website at aarp.org/in to learn more about those. We're looking at other opportunities later this year to promote that issue as well. And then last but not least, as I mentioned before, our livable communities work is something that we take great joy in, making sure that our communities are places where people can age in place, love their community, have a great quality of life, at every stage of life. And Stephanie, you are one of our in-house home fit presenters, experts. We have a workshop coming up in March 24th at the Ortho Indy YMCA, Ortho Indy Foundation YMCA. Can you tell us a little bit more about what home fit is and why it's important to aging?
The home fit presentation, as was shared, is, yes, one of my favorites. As we age, we normally purchase homes that we are looking to stay in. Most times we are either nearing the end of paying off the home or the home is paid off. And so when we're looking at the home fit presentation, we really want to make sure that people are able to stay in their homes. We are looking at what are those slight changes to major changes that you will be able to make so that you can stay in the home that you love, that you purchase, that's possibly paid for. And it's just a dwelling place. Again, I just think homes should be that dwelling place and not having to leave your home. One that you might have been in for 20 plus years is one of the best fits. So again, when we're looking at that home fit, we are really walking you through driving up to the home, going into that driveway if you have one, moving into your garage, your steps, walking through the doors. It is very explanatory, very in-depth. And I would, if at all possible, if you can attend any of the events or check it out online, I would strongly encourage everyone to have the ability to look for that home fit presentation. Just one of the best, one of my favorites, I should say.
Yeah, same here. I'm a little biased. I love the home fit program. I think it's great. Just such valuable information, do it yourself, repairs, fixes that you can, or modifications you can make to your home to make it just more livable, like at any age, honestly. And then there's also proposals in that guide for, professional work where you might need a contractor to come in and make your bathroom or your kitchen a little bit more accessible and safe for you. But, it doesn't hurt to check it out, at any age and just see what it has to offer. Mm-hmm. I think we've covered quite a bit in this conversation. I just wanted to open it up. Like, do you have any closing comments? Is there anything you're looking forward to this year that you just want to make a plug for?
Other than their home fit, I definitely want to make a plug for the fraud. Someone who has experienced fraud before the age of 50, knowing that it took 4 long years to get that cleared up. I would definitely encourage people to, again, look out for those opportunities to learn more about the fraud prevention. Being a caregiver, I know my dad is 85, and I know how many calls and emails he's getting. So we really have to protect ourselves and the ones that we love. So I'm kind of excited and looking for everything. If I continue to talk, we'll be here all day. So just check us out.
Definitely. And Audrey?
Yes, I want to tell the caregivers you really need to take care of yourself. One of my brothers was the caregiver for my mother. His mind was on my mother, so getting some medication. He stepped out in front of a van, and he passed away a month later. So it's very important to self-care for yourself, and it's very our programs and everything teach you about partnership, family, working together, because you got to take care of yourself. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to empower people to choose how they live as they age, and age well, live well,
Yes.
equip themselves with all the valuable information and resources that not only AARP offers, but our community
Yeah.
partners. And thank you both for spending time sharing that with us and sharing your perspectives. This won't be the last time that we talk. We'll be checking in from time to time, and I'm really looking forward to what comes next. So thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for the next This Is In.